I just never could get into school book projects. Like, if it was on my own reading terms, yes. Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a video on some of my favorite reads. This is kind of a book talk, or booktube, sorry. I haven't really done any book review videos or recommendations, so just stay patient because this might be a rough one, but I promise I will try my best to not make it so scattering in pieces. Most of these are from this year. I've had this somewhat unhealthy habit of reading like 2 to 3 books a month, and personally I love it. I get so excited to read a new book, but I really kind of do block out the world and just read. I like to just pretend I'm like the character or something in a book and really dive in. I feel like I'm more connected to books than movies. I really love movies, don't get me wrong, but books really just make me feel something. Like, I feel like I get to choose the story as I'm reading it. Like, I'm slowly going at my own pace. Bear with me as I go through this somewhat large stack, not really, of books. These are not all the books I have read this year so far. I think I've read probably all these within a month or two. But these are some of my absolute favorites that I've read so far. I feel like I'm missing a few. I am, but it's okay. If you guys are looking for books that you want to read, or you guys want to read but you don't really necessarily like reading, I got your back. So personally, I've always loved reading. I don't know what it is about me, but I've always been drawn to words, drawn to writing, and I've been writing stories ever since I was 7 years old. I still have all my notebooks of little pencil drawings and stories. Okay, the first book I have to recommend is The Program by Suzanne Young. So this is The Treatment. This is the second book. I don't have the first one. I just finished reading the second one, and the first two tie together. It's the same characters, but moving forward, I don't necessarily think they're the same characters. Just from the third description of the book, the description of the third book that I have, it's a completely different character. Maybe moving farther in the series, it comes back to the first two books, but I'm not sure yet. There's the program, the treatment, the remedy, the epidemic, the adjustment, and the complication. I'm gonna try to skim it down for you guys without like giving you all the answers. It's a mental health epidemic basically, and what they do is they come into schools, they come into people's works, and if they notice you have any signs of mental health, they take you and they put you into like a rehabilitation type of setting, and they erase your memories. And there's a lot of love, there's a lot of heartbreak, there's a lot of death. So if that is triggering, a book about death might not be for you, and it's a lot of talk about suicide. There is suicide in the book, the first and second, so that might be triggering for you as well, but it is a really great series. And I remember I read the first book in high school, I think my senior year, and I finally got my hands on the second book. And it was great. The second book really wrapped up the whole story and kind of took you through another twist and turn of a love story after everything they've been through. Everybody has read this book, at least I think so. All over YouTube, it's all over BookTube. We were liars, but I actually really did enjoy this book. I cried my eyes out. It was Waterworks. So it's We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. And this is a very, very popular book amongst young readers and probably adult readers as well. So basically, all I can say about this book is there's the Sinclairs, and then there's this like private like estate that their family lives on. It's very hard to explain, but it's very, very professional, very wealthy. They come from a very wealthy family, and basically their family gets together every summer and they spend time together, and you get to go through the book like as the family's like celebrating summer to summer. There's a lot of heartbreak, there's a lot of loss, there's a lot of confusion, and there's a very, very cute love story that is, how do I say it? It's very dark. If you don't want to cry Waterworks, don't read this, but if you do, please just buy it. All you need to know is there's the Sinclairs. This is called The Last Witness by Claire McFall. I'm not gonna lie, this was a great book at first. Kind of reminded me, brought me back to like my early high school years when I would read books like my freshman year. Early teenager book. It's basically about 5 friends, I believe, that go to just go camping at this random spot. 3 disappeared. Throughout the book I was more confused on whether it was actually death or a disappearance, and then the ending came and I was utterly disappointed. But it is worth the read, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it goes along with a tale of the campground and kind of like a dark satanic ritual type of stuff. There's a little love story in here. There's 2 love stories. And it's kind of like a cross lovers thing. Like, this guy likes her, but then she likes this other guy, and it's very interesting. But the ending was just, I really wish it was different, but I think it was still a really good book. I can't feel my feet. I literally can't feel my feet or my legs right now. Going in next, we have Love, Lucas by Chantel Sedgwick. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. I just felt so fulfilled and like at peace when I was reading this. And then there was a lot of waterworks. So basically, a quick overview. A girl named Oakley loses her brother to cancer, and her mother thinks it's best to move to California where her sister lives, aka Oakley's aunt. And they spend time there, you know, just spending time with her aunt, and she gets more into marine biology as her aunt is a marine biologist. And she, on her first day or second day, I believe, she meets a group of friends at the beach because she lives like right across from the beach. She meets a boy, and that's all I'm gonna say. So beautifully written. And even though her brother passed, there's still pieces in a way of communicating throughout the book with her the entire time. I definitely recommend this to anyone that wants to read anything like this. This is by far the best book I've ever read. And it doesn't really look like the best book you've ever read. It's just, please read it. It's so worth it, I promise. I think this is probably the second best book I've ever read because it's very hard to pick between the 2. The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. This is a very, very popular author. She also wrote Everything, Everything or something. It is a beautiful book, but it is very dark, and I thought it was probably one of the best books I've ever read in my life, and it still is to this day. I was able to finish this in a day, guys. Me finishing this in a day, that's not healthy, but it was so much worth it because I felt like I watched a movie like in slow motion. The way it's written, it just makes you feel like you're actually watching someone's life like through their lens. There is some happy parts in it, but mostly it's just waterworks, and it's not good waterworks, I'll tell you that. They're not tears of joy. Eden has very, very deep trauma throughout the book, and specifically because she goes through something that she never thought she probably would ever have to go through, and it affected her all throughout high school. She ends up meeting a boy, and it's a beautiful but sad love story, and it's a lot of secrets and a lot of unhealed trauma throughout the book. I finished this book in a day. I think that should tell you guys everything, and that means to read it. Okay, now that I probably bored you guys for like 12 minutes or however long this video is, I'm gonna go now. I really hope this was a somewhat good book review. So let me know if you guys read any of these books, and please give me book recommendations because I'm looking for new books. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in my next one, and thank you for listening to my booktube.